Ah, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I was just thinking about how nice it would be to take a real shower with real water pressure. Not like those showers back at the base.
Wow,
The
that's a
water
lot of
just
echo.
drips out.
So I'm just going to continue this game from where I am. I don't remember last time I played it.
Ladies, we're a team. We need to work together.
Boy, that echo is bad. Hey, I took cover. So, hey, it worked. I was planning on, there was a new Terminator game that's supposed to be released, but I'm wondering if it only released in the UK, not in the US so far. Because I couldn't, like, I didn't see it at the store, I didn't see it on the online store. But, I don't know, it's still in the Terminator mood, so I thought I'd just come back, play Salvation, and talk about Terminator. I like Terminator. Is that a Warhog? Huh. Nifty. Sure. Pretty sure I've talked about one thing on this before, where I don't know what video, but I tried playing this co-op with my brother-in-law, and there's a scene early on where you're on a highway, and there's hunter-killer, like you're on a highway in a truck, there's hunter-killers, and you know, it's co-op, so they double the amount of enemies because you gotta adjust the difficulty for dealing with, yeah, I'm dealing with the wasp. So needy. You gotta increase the amount of enemies to deal with, to be able to give a challenge to the multiple players. The problem is, I don't know if it was a glitch or what, but when we were playing it co-op, I can't hit on anything. It was like the hunter-killers were only programmed to shoot player one, so now basically it had twice as many attacking me, and he couldn't destroy them fast enough for me to not get killed, basically. I gotta get rid of him.
We gotta flag these things, people.
Come on, people. Sounds exactly like Christian Bale. Gotta flick these things, people. Take cover, people. Why can't I go? Ah, it's a Terminator. I love me some Terminator.
Stay away from me.
Who?
On the left.
You guys are on the left. Oh. Go blind fire it. Terminator has always been a big one for me. It's a series that I'm always gonna love. I don't think every single movie is amazing, but I can't help but love it. It was my first rated R movie. I'm sure I've told this story, but my mom was busy with something. I don't even remember, because I probably would have been like, I don't know, I probably would have been 6 or 7 years old. So I was just home with my dad, and Terminator was on. He's a huge fan of the movie, so he wanted to watch it. So I watched, and I ended up watching it with him, got horrible nightmares, ran crying to Mom. So he got in trouble. The next time when we were in the same situation, Mom was busy with something, Dad was home from work, so Dad got the opportunity to knock it off. The cats apparently decided that wires are toys again, so yay. Did I get him? Nope. But yeah, so I want to say it wasn't very long after that, same situation. Mom was busy, so Dad was watching me. Terminator was on TV again. He really wanted to watch it. You know, he loves that movie. And so he made me promise to not get nightmares. And of course I got nightmares. But by this point I was hooked. So, not long after, when I would have been 8 years old, like the year that Jurassic Park hit the theaters, my mom was chaperoning for a high school trip for my older siblings. And so, you know, she was going to be gone for, I think, like a week or so. And with Dad working full time and me only being around 8 years old, they couldn't just, like, I had to have someone to watch me. So I ended up staying with my mom's side of the family, which was fun, you know. Spent a couple nights with each of my aunts. I got to spend a lot of time with my cousins. One of my aunts ended up getting two of my aunts in trouble. First, one of them called up my mom and was like, "Hey, Tony wants to watch a dinosaur movie," and Mom assumed she meant I think it was We're Back. Like, "Oh yeah, kids movie, go ahead and watch it with them," not realizing that I wanted to see Jurassic Park, which terrified me. Apparently everything terrified me when I was a kid. How many grenades do I have? At least one more. That might have been it. Aww. So when Mom found out that I'd watched Jurassic Park, she was less than thrilled. But then I went to another aunt's house, and I talked to my mom beforehand because, you know, by this point, even though Terminator had terrified me both times I had seen it before, I was obsessed with it now. And I knew my aunt had Terminator 2 recorded off TV. And so I'm just like, oh man, you know, can be like, you know, can I watch it? Like, it's a TV version, it won't be that bad. And Mom's like, I suppose TV will take out most of the bad stuff. Oh crap! You remembered how to turn around. You can tell I was putting in a major effort there. I do enjoy this loading screen. You staring at my reflection? I normally don't have the light on in my living room when I'm playing. Partially because I limited outlets, so I had to unplug so I could plug in my computer. Anywho, now I got a reflection in the window and the cat's just like staring at the window. So yeah, Mom relented, said I could watch Terminator 2 because it'd be the TV version, so how bad could it be? So I get to my aunt's house. It was like, it was probably basically like, oh hi Aunt Sue, love you Aunt Sue, how are you doing? Where's Terminator 2? So they went looking for it and couldn't find it. So they're like, well, let's go rent it instead. And when we got to the rental store, I don't remember if it was my, well, I want to say her husband at the time. I don't really like to think of him as an uncle. But her husband at the time wanted to watch Terminator 1 because he hadn't seen it for a while. Now that I'd only seen TV versions, you know, dumbed down versions. So Mom was really, really thrilled when she found out that I had watched the full, uncensored versions of Terminator 1 and 2. It's funny, my cousin, he's not much, he's I think just over a year older than I am. He had never seen Terminator 1 before. And so he's looking at it. You know, there's a decent little gap in between those two movies. So he's looking at it, he's like, that's not Arnold. That doesn't look a thing like he does in Terminator 2. Like, well, he was a lot younger. But being the young, naive person I was eagerly waiting for any news of a Terminator 3. Oh, there's got to be a Terminator 3. This series is just too amazing. They can't let it die. And, you know, first two movies were good, so a third movie is going to be as good. And I think the first time I remember hearing like any official mention of it, well, there might have been an official mention of it, but there wasn't any details. It was more of just kind of it's going to happen someday. And we were watching Entertainment Tonight or something like that. And they advertised early on, like, hey, we're going to have information on Terminator 3. I was like, oh, yes, finally. Did I take cover? Just ran right through. Oh, hey, where? I feel like I just shot you two. So yeah, so super excited, like, yes, I'm finally gonna get my information on Terminator 3. So I sit there eager, watching the show. Like, I didn't even want to take a bathroom break, because, like, what if it comes back when I'm in the bathroom and I miss the Terminator 3 news? And thought we were done for a moment there. And what was the Terminator 3 news? I think the next upcoming Arnie movie was Eraser. It might have been True Lies. I think it was Eraser. So their update on Terminator 3. Those of you excited for Terminator 3 are going to have to wait a little bit longer, because Arnold's busy working on Eraser. And that was it. I was pissed. Like, are you serious? Ooh.
Wasp, take cover.
We're so screwed.
Oh.
Wait, I need to reload.
Skynet reinforcements, get ready!
Hold on. I needed to finish my shooting.
That's way too small.
Come on up. Oh, you guys are already downstairs? I'm like waiting for them to come over. Like, yeah, let's go. Oh, you're gone. Hey there, Ripley. So when Terminator 3 did eventually come out, I think I initially, like, I enjoyed parts of it, but I feel like in some ways I had to kind of come around on it. Like, I didn't really like it all that much the first time I watched it. And I think now it's more of a, well, I know what it is, so I can appreciate it for what it is. Just trying to take cover. Oh, those guys are still there. Yeah, I didn't even care. The story's fine. Actually, the story makes sense. I know some people complain that by having Terminator 3 that you're ruining the accomplishments of Terminator 2. And in some ways, yes, but in other ways, I kind of agree with Arnold in Terminator 3 that Judgment Day would be inevitable. I'm not even going. Inevitable. Nope, not going to try. We're done trying that word. So if you think about it, like,
Aerostats.
bunch of nations are trying for robotics, or have made huge advancements in robotics over the years, and everyone's trying for AI. And so if you believe that AI can become self-aware and rise up against us, then you basically would believe that it's going to happen eventually. Like, unless you can create enough safeguards, it would happen. So in the Terminator universe, like, even if you prevent destroy all the Terminators in any remnants of Skynet, either Skynet or some version of it is going to end up existing anyways. It might just take longer, but
Let's get the hell out of here.
you know, there's always going to be AI, and eventually it's going to turn. Sorry, I ramble. Jeez. That's... Man, I would love that help. I might be stuck in this area. Alright,
Ammo over here, John.
yeah, I'm coming.
Appreciate it.
You tell him, girl. Alright, finally got it. So yeah, Terminator 3. I'm fine with the initial concept. The Judgment Day will happen eventually. Can't help it. Although each Terminator basically wants us to believe that they're sending back a more and more powerful Terminator, and that the resistance sends back an 800 or an 850 like in 3,
Follow me.
and that somehow every time he's able to overcome a much more powerful Terminator. And you know, I'm fine with that storyline. It's kind of like the movie Soldier, where the old obsolete soldier is victorious because he has all the experience. The problem is they don't do a really good job of making you believe that he's fighting a significantly superior Terminator. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. So it worked in 2 because that was a prototype that he was fighting, and
David, it's
it
Connor.
actually, like, it helped that he had no real advantage until
It's hard to say, David. We're still a ways out.
until he figured out that, like, the extreme cold and the extreme heat would start screwing with its chip, if it technically has a chip. But in 3, he doesn't.
This place used to be so beautiful. The
I'm
Spanish
sure.
architecture, marble
He
floors.
doesn't seem to struggle that much more with the TX than he did with the T1000.
It's gonna be okay.
And TX is supposed to be more powerful. Like, yeah, it doesn't have it. You know, with the skeleton, it loses a couple of the advantages of the Liquidinator, but that was supposed to basically help protect it from those extreme temperatures, as well as some other changes, to make it so it wouldn't have the same issues that the T1000 had. Wow, I'm glad I made that journey. There's nothing even to pick up. You couldn't make the previous cutscene
Stop!
get me
stop.
down here.
Wait a second. Look at this.
Looks like the entire platform is rigged.
This doesn't look like resistance work.
Maybe it's just old.
Hardly any dust. It's recent.
Expertly done, too. Wonder who built it.
Better
Expertly
question is
done.
why they built it.
Like, trying to decide if the expertly done, like, you said stop and hey look, there's a bomb up there. Oh, I want that. Well, we're going to be fighting that direction. Cool. There we go. Let's see, in 4 you don't really have the same issue. Oh jeez, if I only knew. Hey, that works. Because, you know, he's not being, John Connor's not being protected by a Terminator. But, in
I heard stories
in 5, in
people who are crazy
Genesis,
after Judgment Day, crawling around in places like this. eating each
the
other to stay
Terminator
alive.
John Connor thingamabob
You mean cannibal?
supposed to
And
be
did they hunt with mutant dogs? too?
significantly
Don't
advanced
laugh.
compared to other
They've
things you've
taken over
seen,
fully.
and
Outside command never
same
sends
thing,
anyone
like
near there.
Those are just stories, Andy.
an
No such
old,
thing as
obsolete
monsters.
Arnold Terminator. And struggles some, but not much. I'd say that's one major flaw with the sequels. They don't do a good enough job
John,
convincing you that it's truly an underdog, overcoming great odds.
Cut yourself. I said cut yourself.
Now what?
We've heard rumors of machines with rubber skin. Supposed to look like people. Guess you ain't one of them. But that still doesn't explain what you're doing down here.
My name is John Connor. This is Blair and Angie. We're on a mission to rescue resistance fighters trapped behind enemy lines at the Eagle Rock Skynet facility.
The three of you are gonna infiltrate Eagle Rock, when the whole resistance just got their asses handed to them. That's a likely story. Tell me what you're really up to.
What I told you is true. Command refused to send help, so we're going it alone. We know the risks.
We'll give you food and water, plus whatever other supplies we can muster. But I'm warning you, we lived in these tunnels for years without Skynet bothering us. If you brought them to our doorstep, I'll kill you with my own two hands.
Understood. Thank you.
Sounds like a nice
Barnes is
guy.
our quartermaster. He's a big guy, bald with a beard. Sings to himself a lot. Can't miss him. He'll get you what you need. Anyone gives you trouble, just holler. Name's Warren. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do.
Did you see the way Warren treated them? I was just plain wrong. Those resistance chicks ain't bad.
Ain't bad. You crazy? What better than you think we got down?
I'm only gonna play for a few more minutes.
Hey, are you Barnes?
The one and only.
Right.
Huh, sounds like they got the
Well, I'm
actual
John
voice actor
Connor. Warren said you'd help us
or
out.
actor.
I need rations. 3 people for 3 days. Plus whatever medical supplies you can spare.
What, y'all planning a camping trip?
Something like that.
Yeah, well, you need to watch your backs. Some mean old bears out there in the woods.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We've seen our
Maybe
share
not.
of them.
Well, come this way then.
I found Barnes. Alright. What was that? Is that Skynet? Can I do that again? Nope. That was creepy.
Machines!
I didn't do it.
The machines followed you here. You've endangered all of our lives. I had to kill you, but I'll let Skynet do it for me. Barnes!
That
take
was
this
some
waste of
horrifically
space and make
bad
sure our
voice acting
security
right there.
system is working. Buy us enough time to get everyone out of here.
I'm 2 steps ahead of you, man.
I'm coming with you.
Come on, follow me.
Ooh, maybe I'll see some of those T600s. That's the one with the rubber skin.
Man, you really managed to piss Warren off.
He's right, though. The machines must have followed us here. It's our fault. He said no one's bothered you guys for years.
Don't listen to him. Man, it happens every couple of months. Skynet finds us. We pack up and we run. He just likes to have a scapegoat.
I feel like this guy's trying to emulate Christian Bale.
Okay, here's how we gonna
I'm
do
not a
this.
huge fan
You
of
keep the
Christian
robots off of
Bale's
me
acting.
while I
I
set
don't.
the charges.
I think he does
On my
good in
signal,
some
we
roles,
run
but
like hell. You got it?
man, there's been a
Did you
few
just call
roles
them
where I thought he
robots?
was
They're
pretty
robots,
rough.
right? What else should I call them?
And
No
this
problem.
movie, it wasn't amazing.
Wasps!
charges must have come loose.
Skip it. You have enough C4 to blow the platform.
Yeah, but they're wide and serious. Not
Oops.
parallel. One goes, they all go down.
Can you fix it?
The Christmas light setup. I have no idea what I was talking about because
This one
I have a
looks fine.
handful of failed attempts. And I'm giving up after this one because I just don't care anymore. I gotta go to bed soon. So I think the just conclusion of my thoughts on the sequels.
Ain't this one.
Obviously, like most people, I think 1 and 2 are the best. I kind of go back and forth on 1 and 2. It's like straight action and just pure fun. Then 2 is definitely better. But it kind of loses something by losing that the fear that you have in the first movie, since it's more straight up horror. And that's kind of what I was complaining about in the rest of the sequels, where you don't really feel like you're truly watching the underdogs, even though like you're supposed to. Like, good Terminator is the old obsolete one, but never really seems to have too much of a problem saving the day. I honestly don't know what sequel after 2 would be my favorite, because I like and dislike things about all of them. 3, okay, that went in a direction. See, 3 is a good follow-up storyline-wise to 2. The main problem is they try a little too hard for the humor. Some of the jokes work great, but a lot of the jokes, I don't know. It just, someone said that it kind of feels like a parody of Terminator 2, and yeah, in a lot of ways it does. But it is an entertaining movie. The 4th one, I do agree with people, it's a little too serious. That's not a huge deal. Still an entertaining movie, has some really cool moments in it. Not the hugest Christian Bale fan. He does alright. I don't think he does very good in that movie. I feel like finally seeing a Terminator truly fool the Resistance. I feel like that could have been handled better, but oh well. Nice. Peace. Not what I was going for, but I'll take it. Hey, got some health.
Let's get these robots.
So, the acting in 4 is definitely kind of hit or miss. But one person who I think does fantastic, the kid they had play Kyle Reese, like, he does so good. He must have practiced so hard to like perfectly emulate Michael Biehn. And like, he's definitely kind of a highlight of the movie for me.
This one's working.
What's taking you so long?
It ain't this one either.
Oh, crap. Hey, look at that. Guys. going to end on that. I will say for Genesis, I do like the whole, travel back to the first movie, and then change everything. And it wasn't great, but I kind of wish I would have loved to have seen the conclusion, find out who sent the Terminator back to Sarah when she was a child. Like there was definitely some interesting things I wanted to find out about. And one thing I think that movie does better than the two sequels before it is the atmosphere is a little better. It pushes a little too hard in the comedy like the third one does. And despite the fact that Terminator, like an old, rusty Terminator is going up against the most advanced one yet, he has about as much trouble as he did the previous two times that he was greatly overpowered. So it makes some of the same mistakes as the previous sequels. But I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know. Just there's something about the atmosphere. It's a little too bright in 3 and 4, and in 5, it feels a little closer to 1 and 2. But yeah, I don't know. All the sequels do something good and something bad. But hey, I suppose that's the way it goes. I need to stop rambling on. I could talk Terminator for a long time. Anyways, been fabulous, been great. Someday I'll get the new Terminator game and I'll do a video of that. I also own a crap ton of like all the PS2 Terminator games and stuff like that. I should just do like a month of Terminator videos. I would like that. Anyways, until next time, my dear friends. Until next time.